Thing's twice the length, it's twice the weight, it's a lot faster, and it's got a lot more teeth.
Dr. Adam Britton is an expert on the crocodile family. He works with saltwater crocs in Australia's Northern Territory, and he's measured their bites.
No contest, the alligator's definitely going to win.
Contender number 1, the American alligator. Straight out of the egg, they know how to kill. Yet for their first 2 years, their mother has to protect these tiny terrors from predatory males. Only 3 or 4 out of every 100 survive. But the lucky few grow up to become the biggest and baddest beasts in the swamp. Males can reach nearly 15 feet and 1,100 pounds. But there are records of gators up to 20 feet long. That ranks them alongside the biggest crocodiles. The bad news for this reptile is that its brain is only the size of a walnut. Alligators are built like trash compactors. No creature of its size can match its crushing bite force. And those powerful jaws are studded with 80 teeth. That makes stealing alligator eggs a risky business, but there are plenty of takers. The most determined thieves are raccoons, but it's not advisable to get caught red-handed.
There are rams inside there, then that's going to obviously inhibit whatever we grab hold of.
Yeah, I think that's right, Just. If we stick them in the middle, we're going to muck up our bite, so we're probably going to have to...
Meet our design and engineering team. Mike Latham, Chris Wheatley, and Justin Buckingham.
The spins...
We're going to head on the back of the...
I don't want to make them out of anything that's too heavy. They're big and tough, let's make them out of aluminum.
Yep, that would work. Crocodilian physiology is really geared towards exerting a lot of power over a short period of time.
First, the team needs to know what weapons the alligator brings to its face-off.
But the other thing is the death roll. Compare the size difference and compare the number of teeth. We've got 80 teeth in the jaws of this alligator, and it's got this massive bite force.
What would the bite force be from an alligator this size?
On the biggest alligators, which are about 14.5 feet, is well in excess of 3,000 pounds. 3,000 pounds of force. This animal is designed for killing, and that's exactly what it's going to be doing with this bear.
You can measure all that?
Yep, we're going to come up, grab, twist.
Yep.
Got it.
Enter our data acquisition expert, Scott Woodward. He'll analyze the forces unleashed in the lab.
Okay, I'm ready. Come on. 70s. We'll build you guys these rigs. We'll probably come back and talk to you through the process so we can find out exactly what your requirements are. We'll just get on and build it, eh?
Build a biomechanical alligator with working jaws in a week. That's the challenge for the construction team. Chris works out how those jaws will open and close. Using a cast from a real alligator skull for reference, the modelers carve an exact copy in polystyrene.
No, I'm not putting any on.
Yeah,
So I'm just
exactly.
straight. Okay.
Next stop, the foundry. Polystyrene is fragile, but something much stronger soon takes its place. Molten aluminum vaporizes the polystyrene and fills the space it occupies in the sand. When it's cooled, a solid aluminum copy of the polystyrene model emerges. Justin polishes the rough edges. Then Mike gives the head a body. A stripped-down excavator, reinvented as a remotely operated vehicle called RV2. Mike hooks up the hydraulic lines, the arteries that will bring the beast to life. The heart of the monster is a diesel engine that pumps hydraulic oil at 5,000 pounds per square inch. The oil is forced into hydraulic pistons that will power those mighty jaws. The designers and engineers complete their mission on schedule. Time to meet the alligator.
Hey, look at this.
They did a good job on this one.
Well, you must be getting very worried now.
Well, I definitely have to admit it gets style points.
Look at these teeth. They're excellent. The function of these teeth is that the alligator is going to use all of its bite force to clamp down on the bear. And these teeth are going to puncture the skin and even go into the bone. And then what it's going to use is these powerful muscles on the back of its neck and the weight of its body, and it's going to rip large chunks of the bear off. Then once it's got the bear's head, for example, in its mouth, then it can maneuver it to the back of the jaw. And then it's going to use these teeth here, these small teeth here.
Yeah.
It's going to open up the flesh so that when the animal swallows it, all the very powerful stomach acids are going to get straight in there and start digesting it very efficiently.
You should write fairy tales, because that's a pretty good story. I tell you what, you haven't impressed me, although for style points, yeah, it's a pretty skull.
Okay, I'm going to impress you now.
All right.
Let's go and have a look.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you doing?
One alligator for you.
Now, we've got to educate Dave about the alligator's primary weapon and its bite force. One of the extinct forms of alligators, Deinosuchus they were called, they got to about 35 feet long. That would have had the greatest bite of any vertebrate. And your bear is going to come up against its descendants.
History, but we're talking about the here and the now. And
Okay.
what I see is happening is a bear coming in, just chowing off a piece of his head, and the game will be over. All right, show me what your little alligator can do.
Oh, with pleasure.
The animatronic alligator has to bite like the real thing. Scott calibrates the jaws using a heavy-duty load cell.
Okay, 54, 55, 60, 260, 400. Oh, we're at 1,000, 1,500, 1,800. Keep going, Just? Keep going. Yep. 2,500. Little more, Mikey. 3,011, we got it.
Oh, that's a strong piece of wood.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, it's pretty strong.
You're a master of understatement, Dave.
The power has been set to a whopping 3,000 pounds.
I'm just going to put him in the jaw like this.
The team will test the rig with something easy.
Oh, yeah.
So you see, this is what would happen to your bear's head. So why you don't stick your head inside the jaws of an alligator.
Okay, have you got that?
Can someone write that down for me?
Well, that was soft. How about we use something harder, like a coconut?
The good thing about coconuts is they're like bone. Hard on the outside, soft on the inside. So,
Okay.
Uh-oh.
3, 2, 1, bite.
The alligator jaws are holding up under 1.5 tons of bite pressure. Time for some serious science.
So you happy with that test, mate? Was that good?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that test, but let's have something a bit closer to his normal prey.
I'll give you half a cow.
Using a giant T-bone, the test demonstrates how the alligator uses its teeth and jaws to grab and hold its prey.
Just grab onto that, Dave. Just try and yank that out.
Come on, Dave.
It's not coming out.
Once an alligator bites, it would take the combined strength of 4 champion weightlifters to force those jaws open.
That's me strong.
The alligator's a lot stronger than that. If it starts to spin, it's just going to get ripped off.
I got bad news for your little theory here, because if this is attached to a bear, all you're going to see is this. Dead alligator.
No, this is solid bone. How's the bear going to damage that?
Okay, let's open it up and have a look at these things. Come on,
Let's see what damage it's done to your bear.
Whoa, look at this.
Look at that. Very nice little set of perforations around there, you see.
Yeah.
It's going to tear along the dotted line. Cut here, it says. As soon as he flicks his head or starts rolling, that's where it's going to tear.
The huge muscles in the alligator's short, wide jaws can crack turtle shells. And like this crash helmet, turtles are designed to withstand enormous force.
Come on, impress me here. Open up. Okay.
Watch your fingers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Got it.
Okay, here we go. 2, 1, bite.
Oh.
Bit of a ping off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have liked your head to have been in that now, would you?
Ooh, well, I think the turtle's had its day.
A turtle has basically evolved as a defensive mechanism. These guys can make very short work of them, as demonstrated.
Alligator jaws are shorter and more U-shaped than a crocodile's. Gators specialize in crushing their prey, so they need more raw power than a croc. Their lower teeth slide into sockets in the upper jaw. The crocs interlock outside the jaw. An alligator submerges without a ripple. It gets within a body length of its target, then uses its tail and back legs to hurl itself out of the water and grab its prey. Like their cousins, the crocodiles, alligators are lightning fast. This strike took just 1/4 of a second. Once prey is locked in their jaws, they perform a death roll, the deadly technique that alligators and crocodiles learn young. They can't chew, so they spin to tear off bite-sized chunks using speed and body weight. We'll test that deadly roll next. Time to try out the metal gator in its natural habitat, the Test Lab Pool.
Here he comes. Here's the bear nemesis, Dave.
Where do these things live? I mean, how are they going to come in contact with my bear?
In places like Florida and Louisiana, where there's good habitat for them, you can find them in their millions.
So these guys are ambush predators, so obviously murky water is exactly what kind of
That's
habitat
exactly
they're
what they're designed to do. And really, your bear's just not going to see it coming. Most animals just can't seem to make that connection between alligator and predator with what they're actually seeing. Unless they're actually seeing
My
the
bear
whole
will
animal.
figure it out, trust me.
I'm not sure about that, to be honest.
Okay, let's get him into the water and figure out what's going to happen here.
Scott gets ready to measure the speed of the death roll, but will the rig spin as fast as a real alligator? For instant results, just add water.
Okay, Dave. What we're going to do now is we're going to see how this alligator could attack your bear. This deer here, she's come down to the water, just about to take a drink, and the vibrations as she's splashing in the water will pick up. The alligator's very, very sensitive to that. So he's sitting under there now like a coiled spring.
Yeah.
Now he's got these very, very powerful back legs, and they're sitting there on the substrate, back legs down, tail ready. When he detects that the deer is close enough, he's going to use the legs, he's going to spring forward and grab this deer on the head. So it's going to spin its body around in a corkscrew fashion, and the head's going to come off.
Oh, man. So that's what you're talking about?
Look at that. And literally, that's not an exaggeration. That is what these animals can do. But when you consider the amount of body weight you've got there, the amount of torque it's going to generate by rolling its body like a corkscrew, it's no wonder the head comes off. You must be getting pretty worried by now.
I'm not so sure I'm worried, but I'm impressed. I'm a little worried that my bear doesn't get his head caught in those jaws, I think.
Well, I reckon it's going to get its head caught in the jaws, but I'll give you a chance. Come on, let's have a look.
Let me show you what this bear can do. They are made for power.
Just how fast was the alligator spinning, and how much force did it unleash?
First thing that's probably most obvious about the alligator, feel the armored plating on the back. See that? You seem a little nervous holding him.
No, this is
No,
fine.
you're all right with him?
Yeah.
All right.
As long as his head doesn't swivel my way.
Yeah, I'll keep the dangerous end pointed away.
Yes, thank you. And do they usually take a few bites before they swallow them whole, or is it
They
just like a
can't
slow...
chew. They have to tear flesh rather than taking chunks. You see their teeth are just spikes. What those teeth are good for is grabbing a hold of stuff, and then he takes this big heavy body and he drags this thing to the bottom of the water.
Thanks, Dave, for chatting with us today. That was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and there was the evidence to prove it. Never going to happen again.
How are you? I'd shake your hand, but it's probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hey, good, dude.
Boy, I'm being rude to everybody, not shaking anyone's
Oh, my
hand.
goodness, what a cute
You got your
clutch.
hands full.
This is cute.
You can be rude. You've got your hands full.
This is an alligator.
Yeah, it's a little one, right?
It is actually a little one. You're right. These guys can be over 1,000 pounds. Go ahead and sit down.
Really? Will that one get up to?
They all basically grow to the size of their enclosures or what they eat. So if this guy's in a wild area where there's lots of really big things, like big pigs or big deer or big things that he eats, he's going to be huge. He'll be 16 feet, 1,000 pounds. But if he is in areas where he's living off frogs and little birds and things, then he'll stay a little smaller.
Why do they always have that smile, like that evil smile on their face?
So that smile is one of my favorite
they're
things.
mocking you.
So that is because they are one of the most perfect predators in the whole world.
Are
These guys, they haven't evolved in millions of years. So millions of years ago, there was animals that looked just like this. And the only reason that they haven't changed is because they haven't needed to. They're really good predators. So let me show you my favorite things.
Did you have one of these in your apartment in
Yeah,
college?
actually, I just felt like I was like, oh, did I miss a scene in Predator? Are we doing that right now? Yeah, we had one of these. We had a Nile monitor, which looked very close to this, but he didn't have a long snout. He had like a short face.
Right?
Yeah.
So with these guys,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
I got lots of information.
I don't know. He blinked, and then I freaked out. I'm sorry.
everybody stay real calm. I got two nervous guys. I'm going to come out here. No. So with these guys as a predators, you'll see my favorite thing about them is if you look, the nose is above the top of the head and the eyes are at the top, right? So when this guy, even if he's 1,000 pounds, can live under the water and all you'll see is two little bumps on the top. And he can sit like this and just wait. And if anything then comes nice and close, so you look at this guy, so if you look from the tip of his nose to about his back foot, anything in that circle he can grab. So he'll reach out, and you look at his teeth, if you zoom real tight in on those teeth, they're like little pegs. There's no special teeth. There's no molars, there's no incisors.
Nope.
They're only for grabbing.
Yep. So
they'll grab onto something, and once they got a hold of you, that's it. They've got you. But they can't take bites. So if it's something real big, if it's not bite size, they'll then take it in the water, try and soften it up. Now, have you heard of the death roll?
Yeah.
Right? So that's what they're doing. Basically, they're taking something that's big, and they're really just trying to get a bite-sized chunk.
Are they drowning it, right?
No. So, well, it can drown them. So they don't care. They know when they've got you. You're going to die eventually. That process of them dying, once they know it's over, you might not know yet. The death roll really is just to get a chunk. They're like, there's no point in killing something really big if they can't eat it. So what they'll do is they'll grab it, bring it down, and try to spin just because it'll then rip a chunk off that they can swallow.
And this one in particular, how long before it grows into a full-size Kellyanne Conway?
If he eats a lot, it could be about a year. He could be quite big.
All
now,
right.
you want to hold this guy?
No.
You sure?
All right, I guess. Yeah, get Michael to hold it. Yeah,
I actually have one more friendlier size. Why don't we bring the friendlier size version out?
We're going to bite
all right.
size.
Oh, look at that, lunch.
Go to bite size.
All right.
There we go. Now,
Yeah, hold on.
That is.
this is.
Are they going to get progressively smaller?
Yeah, here you go. Now, you grab here.
Okay.
Grab the tail there.
All right.
Thumb down because it can bite you.
Oh,
there you
great,
go.
thanks.
Now you're a gator wrangler.
Don't say he can bite you before you.
right.
All right, you got it, Jimmy.
There you go. You trick. I didn't realize you were going to say yes to the bigger one.
right.
I can let you hold
I
this
could have
one.
gone for the joke, but that's how much I like animals.
Why does he? You want to hold this one? You want to have a little? Yeah. Spend a little time
Same
with that
thing.
guy.
Just
Yeah.
hand up at the front, make him feel comfortable. He will bite you if you let him.
Okay.
So give me this hand there, and
Wait,
then the
if that
tail.
bites-
Grab him on the base, feels comfortable there.
Does it hurt if that
Yeah,
little thing bites
that'll
you?
hurt you.
So yeah, that's what, like those are like straight up needles in his mouth. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so if he grabs you, it'll hurt enough that it'll bruise a bit, maybe a little bit of blood, but the other guy, he's big enough to take a chunk off.
Oh, really?
I love
Yeah.
this fight. He's got nice eyes.
Now, another thing, I don't know if you can get really close in the camera there, but while you're holding them there, you can see these guys are aquatic. So you can see that webbed foot there?
Yeah.
So these guys are excellent in the water. Now show the tail as well. So that's basically like, if you open this hand a little bit, you can see it's like a big rudder. Oh, that's someone who
Do you
wants
know these
to-
men behind you?
Oh, I think he wants this.
Oh, yeah.
Should I be standing on the other side
can
of
if
you,
you
away
want.
from the
Probably away from the mouth.
Yeah, that's
And I typically try to just
And-
hold him as comfortable as I can to make him feel good.
How-
Like
how
he
do
touch his back.
How do you
Feel those
make an alligator comfortable?
Well, this guy, if he feels like he's being held properly, he'll just relax like this.
Seen lots of alligators. What is Curly like to eat?
Curly will eat pretty much, once again, anything that gets close enough to those jaws.
So let's just put our hands back here.
So he sort of sits in wait. You know, he's got that dark back. That dark back is because he's usually in dark water, right? And he's going to sit in dark water, just put that nose and those eyes above the water, and the rest of it's going to hide underwater. He's going to sit there and wait. And anything that comes in striking distance, if it looks like it's the right size, Curly will grab it. You know, one of
Big could Curly eventually get? I mean,
You know,
this is
I've
a
heard of
baby. This is a
alligators-
little baby, right?
This is a little guy. So he's sort of in the teenage years, this size. And
So he's trouble right there.
yeah, he's trouble. He's trouble. He's a good trouble, but he could be trouble. They can get to be 16 feet, 800 pounds. You know, they get big. I'm certainly not going to hold Curly at a full-grown state. Like this.
I would hope not. How much else?
The
I
other
mean,
thing
that's
you
a
see how
predator.
His webbed foot. I mean, this is probably the only chance you're going to get to hold a predator's foot like this, an alligator's foot. You grab it, hold it up. See,
at
this guy's a great
that.
swimmer.
Look
So when
at
this guy
that.
gets in the water, he uses those feet to propel him, and this big tail. This arm, you see how it just tucks nicely up against his belly, and then they wiggle like
So
that.
he's got that good streamline action
Yeah,
going.
that's how they work. Watch your tail.
You think alligators get a bad rap?
They do. Any animal that sort of looks, that doesn't have the cuddly face. You know, you find we have that instant, what's going on? Obviously, we're growing up with these dinosaur looks, and anything the prehistoric look kind of makes us think, ooh, it's icky, it's gross, it's, you know, we sort of watch our dinosaur movies and think that, oh, they're all eating just chunks of meat.
Right.
But generally speaking, you know, these guys live amongst so many people, and it's so rare to hear of attacks. I mean, they happen, of course.
He just seems so mellow
Very
right now.
mellow.
This is
Animals, you know, it's one of our general missions why we do things like this. We try and teach kids and adults of all ages that, hey, most animals don't want to hurt you.
But this is Dave Salmoni. He was here today to talk to us about Monster Week on Animal Planet, and I'm a big fan, and I want to say thank you for bringing all the animals.
And an old friend. We've been friends for so many years.
I know
Thanks
it's been
for having me on.
Anytime. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
Monster Week, Animal Planet goes right up to May 25th. The final episode is my favorite. It's a River Monsters episode, 2-hour special. So that's the one I really
River Monsters,
can't miss.
another friend of the Daily News,
Yes,
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Wade. Great.
One of the best guys in TV.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for coming. It's good to see you, and thanks again.
Great.
Thanks.